Call me 1900993 696. Call me 1900993 696.
Shit.
Alrighty. Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing? Let me know in the chat box if you can hear me loud and clear so we can start this beautiful morning session. I see the thumbs up. Amazing. Good. Markets are shit this week. Yeah. Tell me about it. It's not the best week when it comes down to price action, when it comes down to price traps. But yeah, we will have to take that. We will have to go through that. It's trading, you know. If you're following me for a pretty long time, you know that there are periods that we don't have the most beautiful charts or the most beautiful setups. But this is something we will have to go through. And in my opinion, what's the most important part when you're going through a period like this is that you just stick to everything you are putting into your trading plan, all right? Because if you're now like shitty markets, I just lost 1, 2, 3%. I'm gonna risk a little bit more so I can get my drawdown back up and all these kind of things. Yeah, then you're just gonna mess it up even more. All right, so please don't be that person. Stick to your plan, stick to your risk management. Maybe step away for a moment, reflect on what happened in the last weeks or in the last week, and learn from it and grow from it. All right, I see a lot of links coming in. Let me first start with that. So Canadian JPY, nice one, love it. Easy, clean trades. Textbook price trap, engulfing candles, breakout retest. Love it. Another one, Euro Canadian. Look at that. When this is not this week, right? No, this is not this week. UCAT. This is a break even one, I think. But amazing. This is looking good. So last week was pretty good for you if I'm looking at these different charts. Good. Let me first close off my other trading view. That's a take profit. No, closing off everything. That's not what I wanted. There we go. there we go. Yes, sir. Alrighty. Good. So made 12% last 5 weeks. Look at that. That's an amazing result. That's an amazing result. You're really killing it last couple of weeks. So congratulations for that. And this is an inspiration and an example for a lot of people. But good, let me dive straight into it. What's happening here? What are we doing here on these morning sessions? Before I start with that, always remember, guys, I'm not here to give you any financial advice. I'm just here to give you my knowledge and my education, so you can go into your chart yourself and find yourself these opportunities. Um, Without me saying what you need to do, like sell this or buy this. Nah, I'm not that kind of guy. I'm that kind of guy who will teach you the kind of things that you can go in the markets yourself and say yourself, I'm gonna buy this or sell this. Okay, so that's a very, very important thing. Now, next thing is for the people who are watching the recordings, because I know the people who are on the live right now, they know what I'm doing, they know the strategy. But for the people from the recordings, if you do not know what I'm doing here, it's pretty simple. We are focusing on the most basic thing in the market, highs and lows, all right? If you do not understand this, if you don't understand support resistance, highs, lows, trending markets, these basic things, when you look at Forex or stocks or crypto, it's better you find yourself some education and the right information so you can learn yourself these basics and then go into the next phase, which is what we are doing on these morning sessions. Okay, so if you do not know where you can find this information, you can always send me a private message and I will help you out. Good, let's take a look. Very first one, Canadian JPY. What have we seen? Market broke out. So if we go back to when we were doing this session, this was the moment I made this price trap. All right, I only gave a support zone because I was really interested in the downtrending market, in the downtrending move here, and that's exactly what we have seen here. Okay, so the market broke out, came back for the retest, gave us a 1 hour engulfing candle, and if we then go to the 30-minute, we see also the engulfing candle. If we go to the 15-minute time frame, exactly the same thing, another engulfing candle. So candlestick wise, everything was in place. Even if you go to the 5-minute time frames, you will see that the market created some beautiful structure and that gave us that breakout retest here. So that's also amazing to see. If you found yourself an entry on the candlestick patterns, I think you would have around a 10 pip. No, it was 15, maybe 20. But like you can see here, the market gave you room enough to really have a beautiful take profit, 160 pips drop. So if we went for, let's just say, a 20 pip stop, you will have a 1 on 5, 6, 7, 1 on 7 risk to reward. Okay, so that's amazing. If you don't know what this means, again, make sure you find yourself this information and get into the basics before you start throwing in money in these markets. Okay, so 1 on 7 risk to reward means that you are risking 1% but making 7. Okay, so beautiful price up here. Then you have seen the screenshot that I just opened. This was another breakout retest. This is how you can follow up a certain market. You see you have a downtrending market. Every time the market creates lows, you simply wait for the market to break out of that low, come back for the retest, and then do exactly the same thing over and over and over again. All right, so these were two beautiful opportunities on Canadian JPY. And even if we go a little higher here, you see we have this breakout retest also. And also right over here, you have very small and very fast breakout retest also. So this whole downtrend was possible with different kind of trades or different kind of moments to react on this and really take all this downward movement. Okay, and that's the beauty about price trap, using basic market principles and react on that. All right, next one, CHF JPY. We had this kind of breakout. It wasn't really that clear in my opinion. I was telling you guys this supply zone would be my first interest zone. Market came in there, but never really created price action. Do you see the difference? When we saw Canadian JPY creating engulfing candles, rejection candles, and so on, we haven't seen that here on CHF JPY. But if you're paying attention and if you're looking closely to the charts, what did the market do? It broke up and then came back for the retest and gave you multiple opportunities to really react on this uptrending movement that we have seen in the last week. Okay, so we didn't have a lot of price traps, but the price traps that we had respected pretty much what we wanted to see. Okay, so again, I can go over this. You have engulfing candles on the 1 hour time frame. If we go to the 30-minute time frame, you will see that the market is also creating engulfing candles here. This was a little less clear. And if we then go to the 15-minute time frame, you see that first retest wasn't really that clear, but the second one was beautiful. All right, so on that second one, you definitely had some opportunities there to react with. I think it was around, if I'm not mistaken, but I think I'm really, yeah, it was around 30 pips. I remember this one. It was pretty big, a big of a stop loss, but like you can see, market went for almost 190 pips up. All right. So if you go for your first target, you will see that this is already 71 pips. So risk-free idea from that point on. And then you just let the market do his thing. Okay. So that's for CHF JPY. If we move on, we had Euro JPY. This was maybe the most messy chart we had from last week. We broke up, we broke down, but we never really got the move we wanted to see. Okay, so market broke up, came back for the retest, created the engulfing candle here, created definitely price action over there. So if you were reacting on this, I would definitely understand. Look at that engulfing here, look at the price action, the break of structure on that 5-minute time frame. Yeah, everything was in place. So if you took a stop loss on that one, I understand. Okay, that was just a stop loss. And if you then look at what we had, Canadian JPY, CHF JPY, that stop loss doesn't matter. If you do take 2 times, even just a 1 on 3, that one stop loss doesn't mean anything, right? If you just calculate it, 2 times a 1 on 3 risk to reward, the 6% in the pocket minus 1% loss is still 5% in profit. I'm talking full percentages just to make it easy, but of course, if you're maybe not comfortable using 1% risk every single trade because it's maybe too much, you can also go for like a 0.5. That's perfectly fine. I know a lot of people are doing that. I'm personally also doing that on the bigger accounts. The smaller accounts, yeah, I go for between 2 and 5% risk per trade. Okay. But again, that's not financial advice. I'm here to show you just some education and information that you can apply yourself. Okay. Then if we take a look at Euro USD, what have we seen? We saw a very fast breakout retest. And again, look at that price action, guys. Just candlestick patterns engulfing on that 1 hour time frame. 30-minute time frame was rejecting beautifully from this demand zone here. 15-minute time frame was again also showing us that engulfing candle. And even the 5-minute time frame, it was a very fast retest, I know, but the 5-minute time frame also gave you that break of structure and came back for the retest. So many opportunity there to react on Euro USD with like this was a smaller stop loss. This was like around, this was 15. I personally reacted with a 15 pip stop on this one. And like you can see, we went for 100 pips to the upside. So 1 on 3 risk to reward was once again possible. That's the third one. So 3 times a 1 on 3 risk to reward, do the math. 9% in the pocket. And even if you react on Euro JPY with a stop loss, you're still 8% up. Okay. This is just an example, guys. These are not real numbers. This is just giving you an example if you are risking 1% trade that you could potentially make these kind of percentages. Okay. If we take a look at NZJPY, this was maybe also a little bit messy here. Market broke out to the downside. First of all, we were rejecting pretty hard from this support zone. Doesn't mean anything, but we can expect a very strong push back up if you see these kind of candlesticks. The market then went higher into our resistance area. I personally didn't really like that because we were already attacking the highs, even getting a little bit above that. So I personally prefer to react on the Euro USD that we had, or a Canadian JPY or a CHF JPY, than reacting on a chart. You know what I mean? Like a chart where you're doubting. It's better that you're really confident about the price trend, right? Otherwise, maybe you will be starting to making mistakes or like these small stupid mistakes. But let's first focus on this one here, because of course, this was the first supply zone or the first price action zone where we have seen the market pause for a minute. But like you can see, the 1 hour and the 30-minute didn't show us anything. The 15-minute also didn't show us an engulfing candle. Okay, you can say this is like a kind of evening star, but again, that's not clear. Also, the 5-minute time frame, did it show you any break of structure? No, it didn't. So that was just not interesting. Okay, if we go to that resistance zone, where I didn't like it anymore, we did have price action. Engulfing candles on the 1 hour, 30-minute time frame, evening star, 15-minute time frame. Look at that. Also engulfing candles. And if you go to the 5-minute time frame, even you will see that the market gave us a break of structure, came back for the retest, and then dropped like crazy. But I'm not going to count this because the market was already attacking resistance zones. Alrighty, then we have gold. Yeah, gold is doing some crazy things. We know that already. It was a little bit the same like Euro USD. Market broke out to the upside, came back with a very fast retest, and then started moving up. For me personally, this was not an interesting idea. Also because I already had some very good price traps and some very good profits for the week, so I didn't want to risk it anymore. But if we take a look at price action, we did have some tweezer bottoms on the 1 hour time frame, and if we take a look at the 30-minute time frame, we had the same thing. And then the 15-minute, let me check. Yeah, look at that. It's not that clear, right? Okay, we have very massive rejection here with engulfing candles, but not really the most clear price action that we are used to or that we love to react on or see. Let me check with that 5 minute. Yeah, this is the moment the market broke, came back for the retest. If you put your stop loss below the lows, you would never have a stop loss. And then the market took off for I don't know how many pips, a lot of pips probably. Around, what is this, 180, almost 180 pips. Amazing. Good. It is positive to see the market breaking and retesting, right? That's just lovely to see. That's what we want to see, the market respecting our highs and lows, and the market respecting our support and resistance zone. What did I want to say? I'm not sure. I forgot it. Doesn't matter. Good. So this was the review from last week. What we have today is first of all the news. We had CPI on pound. This already came in, so you have seen that the pound was bearish with some pretty strong candles to the downside. We do have some euro news at 2:25. Lagarde is going to speak. I don't expect the biggest movements, but what I'm really paying attention at is this Friday. All right, this Friday we have a lot of news coming out on euro, on pound, on USD, the CPI on USD. I'm not sure. Is the government still shut down? I think so. Yeah. So maybe it will be delayed. We shall see. But just pay attention on Friday because Friday will be pretty heavy when it comes down to the news. For next week, what can you really pay attention at is here 9:15 on AUD, and of course the CPI on AUD on Wednesday. The rest we can go over that on the next morning session. Okay. What's also very important this weekend, guys, daylight saving time shift. So it means that we will have another spread hour than usual. Okay, so it will shift a little bit. I'm not sure. Will the spread hour start at 10 and end at 11, or is it 12 to 1? I'm not sure. I will have to check that. Or maybe you can check that yourself. But just make sure that you know that for the next week, we will have a different spread hour than usual. Then the next weekend, we have the USD that does the daylight saving time shift, and then everything will be back in place. Okay, so it's only for 1 week, but just know that, pay attention. Okay. Alrighty, let me check. Do we have any price swaps or interesting price swaps for today? Let me know in the chat box if maybe you are looking at something. It's always fun and nice to see how you guys are trapping the markets, finding yourself opportunities. I personally don't like the markets as I'm looking at it right now. I was going through it like just before the session. I didn't have time enough, but it didn't really look that yeah, interesting, that attractive. We had better weeks, right? Euro AD, all right, I will go over that. Canadian JPY, I do like the structure, all right? Very clean, high and low, very clean structure. There we go. That's the first one. Here we see another one. What's this? This is AUD NZD. Yeah, I do understand the structure you're looking for, definitely. But we don't have the most clean trending market, right? You see that? We are in a downtrend, so the breakout to the downside is pretty good. Let me trap this. I do like it. I also like it to just trap the markets like you guys are sending it out, to then give you a review the next week, so we can look at how you could potentially react with the price action. There's one thing we really need to be aware of, is that we are at some pretty strong demand here, so we shall see. CHF JPY? Yeah, why not? This is the next one. There we go. Nope. Hmm. Yeah. Is it? Ah, yeah. You sent it out Euro 80. Is this the way you're trapping it? You're looking at it? Probably. Probably yes. Waiting for the breakout retest to the downside. Starting a downtrend from this point. Maybe. Maybe not. Exactly. Yes, sir. Let me put an orange flag. Euro Canadian is ugly. Yeah, Euro CHF is also not really the most clean chart. Maybe 80 Canadian. I'm personally gonna leave it. Yeah, I know. It's a 4 hour price up, right? Look at that. It's definitely possible. I'm not sure if I said it already on the morning session, but you can also price swap on 4 hour time frames. But then your entry will be a little bit different because you will be more focused on the 1 hour and the 30 minute. Yeah, and then you want to have 4 hour breakouts, of course. I'm personally not gonna do that. That big one. That's it's a massive one. Um, Look at that. That's the pound news I was talking about. Yeah, Euro JPY. I did took a little scalp here this morning with a 1 on 2. That's already in the bag. So yes, I am scalping the last couple of months. I do like it. The fact that you just jump in, jump out. GA. I'm curious. What will the market do if it comes back to this zone? There we go. We shall see. GCAT. Massive down candles, like I said. G-Chef, you could trap this, but this is massive. I'm gonna just leave that. GJ, nope. Also nothing. Nope, that's not it. Yeah, Hans Cat also a massive price trap. This is okay. I can live with this one. It will take a while till this one breaks out. The bigger the price trap, the longer it takes. Nah, nope. Hmm. I see a link coming in. Let me check. What's this? Just the chart I'm on. The moment I turn my head, like, interesting. Let's put it on there. If you like it, let's just put it on there, and next week we will review it. For me personally, that's what I really like about these morning sessions, and I know a lot of people also like this about my morning sessions. That this is that I'm just like reviewing everything that I'm sharing the next week without changing anything to these charts. That's why I have this public layout, so I can just leave everything in place and doesn't change a single line until we are back on the session and I can review everything. Oh, that will be it, I think, for today. Let me make this a little thicker. Doesn't really matter the thickness of your zone. You just want to have a clear visual of your support and resistance zone. And gold, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave gold like this. Yeah, you cannot do anything with this. Or yeah, you can if you go lower time frames, but at this moment, I'm just gonna leave that. I don't know what to think about this. Let me check. Hmm. Mm, I get that. That you don't know what to think. I get it. Because, yeah, I trapped this one yesterday. Breakout retest. Beautiful price trap, by the way. Beautiful breakout retest. And the market is dropping like crazy. But at this moment, nah, I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna trap that one. Good. All right. So we have AD/NZD waiting for the retest. Canadian JPY in between the zones, so still waiting for that breakout. CHF JPY also waiting for the breakout. Euro AUD is breaking out, so we are looking for a retest to get into that downwards movement. And this is a very interesting zone, by the way. GA, we are at some pretty strong demand, so this is something we will have to pay attention at. But of course, we want to wait for the retest back into that zone. NZD Canadian waiting for the breakout. NZD USD is breaking out, but not there yet. 1 minute to go. And UJ, we are still in between the zones, so that's waiting for that breakout. Alrighty, that's the price traps for today. Let me check what the crypto is doing because we have some interesting moves going on. First of all, like you guys know, I start with the weekly time frame, showing you the weekly time frame, how it closed, because in my opinion, that's one of the most important things you would be, or you will be looking at when you're opening Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so on. Because this is giving you the long-term, longer term vision, and not necessarily focusing on these short-term ups and downs, all right? Because if you're too much focused on these ups and downs on the short term, maybe you were panicking after this massive drop to the downside and you were selling out, and now you're like, oh damn, if I look at that weekly time frame, I just see a breakout retest and that's it. So still bullish, of course. I don't know what I drew here last week. I should watch my recording because I'm not sure what I've been saying last week. But I know I'm not too worried at this point. Okay, we are creating some bearish price action if we look at the 4 hour and the daily time frame here, because we are breaking lows. But in my opinion, this is like more a liquidity sweep where the market just took out a lot of buying power here. We could go a little lower still, but we shall see. How can we follow up on the next movement? Can we hold these demand levels? We are breaking some kind of structure there. So if the 1 hour is more clear for that. So here we have all these highs. The market did go above this to then start retesting. So that's a little bit the vision I have for upcoming week, is like, is this going to demand hold, or are we maybe going lower and retest? Let me reset. There we go. Reset around this, or retest, excuse me, around this area here. Oh, we almost hit it, but it's still possible that we can hit this. Let me check. What did I true last week? So we had these equal lows, market dipped below this. Where are we? Thursday, Wednesday morning was around this area. Yeah, of course, I was looking for the market to hold this demand zone. We saw the market going above the highs, coming back into that zone. So I wanted to see the market breaking the highs, or maybe respect the next supply zone to then start dropping. And it's basically the second option that happened. Like you can see, I gave you the opportunity breakout retest to the upside, but I also drew these lines for the move to the downside. And that's basically what we have seen here. The option number 2. This here, breakout, retest, and then the market starts dropping. Okay. So I think that was the thing I said last week. If is that not the case, let me know. So basically, a little bit the same thing like last week. Of course, we have like this massive demand zone sitting here. So we could either move up from this demand zone higher into these highs, or of course just respect what we have done right now and start sweeping lows around that 100K area. I know I was talking about one of my friends and partners in this game, that we could revisit the 100K area, and yeah, we are there almost. The dominance is a little bit consolidating. Ethereum is, yeah, let me check what's happening here. 4 hour time frame. I was looking for the breakout retest. I did mark up these supply zones because this could be very strong and push the market lower. That's also what we have seen. Still very bullish though. Look at that weekly time frame breakout retest. It's just, yeah, we are like in that consolidation phase where the market starts to get a little bit, should I say it? It's Wednesday, right? Dangerous. The market starts to get a little bit boring. If I say that word, sometimes the market starts doing some crazy things. But yeah, we are in a massive consolidation for a long time already. Also, same thing here on Bitcoin. We shall see how the market will be reacting in the upcoming days, upcoming weeks. But at this point, we are again at demand zones. Can we hold this? Will we break this? This massive zone here? That's the big question. We have here a lot of resistance. So we got to break above that to really start creating new price action, getting above these supply zones, maybe start creating new all-time highs. But of course, if we do not respect this, we always have both options, right? We can still go a little lower with Ethereum. I don't want to see it too low, of course, because the retest is pretty strong that we have seen here. But I wouldn't be surprised if we could just dip a little lower to create some more fear in the markets. And that's something I really notice right now. If we take a look at crypto, there are a lot of coins. They're not really down, but we have seen big retracements on a lot of coins, which puts the market in like a little bit of a phase that they are maybe in fear and that kind of stuff. And in my opinion, that's not the kind of emotions we want to see on the top. We want to see FOMO, euphoria, and these kind of emotions, all right? And that's not really what I'm seeing in the masses if I'm looking at the masses right now, okay? What I find very interesting is that gold is starting to retrace or giving us a bigger retracement than usual. And if we take a look at the previous bull run from Bitcoin, if we just compare it, right? This is just comparison. We have seen that the moment the market created a top here, you see that when the market started to consolidate after a pretty strong move to the upside, remember this date, the 3rd of August, 2020. The 3rd of August, 2020. There we go. Hmm. We already saw a beautiful move, no all-time highs, of course. That's a big difference. This is already a way bigger move than this one, but you see what happens. I'm just curious. Is this maybe a sign? We shall see. This is just how do you say it? Crystal ball theory. Comparison charts with each other, thinking the market will go to 200K. You know, I'm not that kind of person. I'm that kind of person. I'm just following highs and lows, breakouts and retests. But that will be it. I hope everything is clear for everyone. Let me know in chat box. Do you have any questions? I have 6 minutes left here. We don't have any price trap where we can react on right now, right? No. That's so sad. I love these live ideas, live examples, but we don't have one. It doesn't happen a lot also that I have like real life examples on the session. Mostly of the time you will see these price traps play out later in the day, like overlap London, New York. I'm just going through the charts one more time so I don't miss out on anything. The breakout retest on GJ. Doubting. Because I'm doubting too much, I'm staying away from it. Nope, that will be it. Okay, that's it. We have 2, 4, 6, 8 price traps, more than enough. If we can take 2 or 3 take profits on this, like last week, Canadian JPY one, CHF JPY another one, Euro USD. Euro JPY was maybe a stop loss, but you could have a minimum of 3 take profits, and that's more than enough when it comes down to your trading. You don't need a lot of take profits. If you can have one a day, imagine that every single day making 3% in a week. That's 15 on a week. That's 30 on 2 weeks. 4 weeks is 60%, something like that. Quick calculations here. Of course, that's in my opinion not realistic. I don't like the word realistic, but you gotta use it sometimes. But yeah, if you just focus on 1 or 2 take profits on a week, that's already enough, especially if you're risking 1%. I don't see any questions coming in, so I think everything is clear for everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this session. If you have any questions, don't hesitate for the people who are in the Discord to ask them in the Discord if you want to share some charts or that kind of stuff. Or maybe you're not in the Discord yet. You can also just react to my recordings on YouTube, or just send me a private message and I will get you into the Discord, so we can start discussing charts in there. If you're not sending out charts, if you're not sending out questions in that Discord channel, of course, nothing will happen. Action takers are money makers, like they are saying. So take action on your goals and dreams, and become the best person you are today, and just keep on growing. Okay, so thank you all for being here. I wish you all the best. For the people from Belgium, we see each other this evening in Lokeren, of course, for our weekly meeting. And for the people here online, we see each other back next week, 8:30, for another morning session where we will go over every single price trap, every single detail, what you could do with these 8 price traps I just shared. Okay, so thank you all for being here. I wish you the best. We see each other very soon again. Ciao, ciao.